Okay, my height this year is 120% of my height last year. If you were 60 inches tall last year, how many inches tall are you this year? All right. Well, can you really grow 120%? No. The answer is no. If you want to say yes and be funny, I'm sorry, the answer is no. All right. I know that after 1 year or before I start for this year, I am 60 inches tall. That is what I was when I first started. Okay. At the end of last year, I am 100%. All right. Meaning I grew an additional, because 100% is 60, I grew an additional 20%. Okay. So if I were to look at my bar graph here, I grew an additional 120%. And I want to know, how tall am I now? So what are these two question marks going to be? Okay. In order to find this, all right, because if you guys watch the Google Slides, it's going to take this little box of 20% and it's going to plop it over here. And it's going to show that this right here is the same thing. 20% of my original height is equal to, well, an additional 20%, assuming that I grow at the exact same rate all throughout the year. Okay, meaning I want to know if 100% is 60, well, what's 20% of 60? Okay, you can solve this in many different ways. You can do your proportion. Okay, we can also sit here and break it down. What is 10% of 60? Well, if 100% is 60 inches, 10% of that, okay, so what's a tenth of 60 is 10 inches. Okay, well, another 10 inches is 20 inches. Okay, and so on and so on. Oh, not 10, it's 6. Okay, but let's go ahead and start and use our proportion. Well, part over whole equals percent over 100. Okay, or you guys can use your equation. Part equals percent times the whole. And I'm wanting to know my part here. So I'm going to take my part because I want to know what 10% is. Okay, or to get to 6, I'm showing you guys how to get to 6. So part is equal to, well, what percent am I locating? Well, it's 10. 10% as a decimal is 0.10 times 60 as my total. Well, 60 times 0.10, 0, placeholder, 06, 600. Well, 2 decimal places, 1, 2. And part is equal to 6 inches. Ms. Roberts would have done that first. She would have remembered. Now, each 10 section, each 10% is 6 inches. So 10% for, or 6 for 10%. Then another 6 for 20%, which is going to get me to 12 inches total. Well, to go from 100 to 20, that's 20%. And that is the same thing. These two things are equal of one another. This 20% in the inside and this 20% on the outside. So I'm going to have 60 inches plus an additional 12 inches to get me to 72 inches. That's how tall you are now. Okay. All right, let's look at number 2. The cost of a plane ticket, it decreased by 20% from yesterday to today. If the ticket was $250 yesterday, how much is it today? Okay, so yesterday, I'm at $250. I'm decreasing, so that means I'm going to take away, okay, I'm going backwards. I'm taking away 20%. Okay, I am taking away 20%. Well, in order to take away 20% of 250, I need to know, well, what is 20% of 250? That's what I need to start and find. Okay, so I'm going to use my equation. So part over whole, let's actually use our proportion, equals percent over 100. That way we have 2 examples of each, or 1 example of each. Okay, I do not know my part. That is what I'm trying to locate. My whole is 250. I know my percent at 20 over 100. Well, let's take a look at this. Now, 100 to 250, we can easily multiply this, but let's go ahead and simplify this. I know that 20, or 5, let's go with 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. What's 100 divided by 5? Well, that's 20. Well, can this go any smaller? Yeah, let's divide it by 2. or actually 4. 4 can go in there. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So I have part over 250 is equal to 1 over 5. Well, how many times can 5 go into 250? Times 50. What I do on top bottom, I must do the exact same thing on top to get me times 50. So my part is equal to 50. So 20% of the original is $50. Okay. Now that does not answer my question. It wants to know if the ticket was $250 yesterday, how much is it today? Well, I need to do $250 minus $50 because minus 20% to see that my new plane ticket is $200. Okay. My new plane ticket is $200. All right. Number 3. Francisco earns $12 per week for doing chores. His dad said if he would also mow the lawn, he would change Francisco's allowance to $18 per week. By what percent did the allowance increase? Okay, so I know, I'm going to draw my little bar here. Actually, did it get on the back by accident? Oh, I'm going to draw my little bar here. I know that originally my 100% of my allowance is $12. He increased my allowance to $18. I want to know what percent did he increase it by? How much did he go forward? All right, so let's take a look. From 12 to 18, how much money did I go up? Well, I went up $6. And I want to know $6 is what percent of the original? Well, let's take a look. If I'm looking at 6, well, what is 6 is what percent of $12? 50%. That means Francisco's dad increased his allowance by 50%. Okay, so what we did is we drew our bar to found 0 to 100. I knew originally my 100% is 12. I increased it to $18. Okay, well, the difference between 12 and 18 is $6, and I'm going up. And I want to know of the original, what percent is the difference of the original? So 6 divided by 12 is 1/2, or 50%. Let's take a look at number 5, Coach Sanders. So Coach Sanders went from 240 pounds to 180 pounds. By what percent did his weight change? Okay, so originally he was 240. Did we gain or lose weight? Well, it looks like we lost some weight down to 180 pounds. So I'm decreasing, and I want to know what percent did I decrease. So I need to find the difference. That's the first thing I need to do. So 240 minus 180. Well, 0 minus 0 is 0. I have to borrow and carry. Well, 14 minus 8 is 6. So it looks like I went down 60 pounds. Okay, I went down 60 pounds. That means I want to know what percent of the original weight per Coach Sanders was 60 pounds. I want to know how much did we lose. All right, so I'm going to have my part over whole is equal to percent over 100. I know my part is 60. My total is 240. My percent is what we're looking for, over 100. Okay. Well, I want to know what number can go in above 60 and 240. Well, I can see that 6 can go in there. So this decreases by 10. Well, 240 divided by 6 goes down to 40. What number can go in both of these? Well, 10. Well, 10 divided by 10 is 1. 40 divided by 10 is 4. So I now have my new proportion of 1 over 4 equals percent over 100. I know that 4 can go in 100 times 25, thinking of money. What I do on bottom, I must do the same thing on top. To get 1 times 25 is 25. So Coach Sanders lost 25% of his original body weight. He had a 25% decrease. Okay. All right. Number 5. A company increased their weekly profit from $2,000 to $2,500. What percent increase is this? Okay, so I go from $2,000 and I'm increasing it. So I'm going to add an extra bar here to 2,500. I want to know what percent did I increase? Okay, so I need to find the difference here. So 2,500 minus 2,000 looks like my difference is 500. So I want to know of the original, what percent is 500 of my original? All right, part over whole equals percent over 100. I'm going to have 500 over 2,000 is equal to percent over 100. Now I'm going to teach you my tens trick. My tens trick that I like to say is that if you have a 0 on top and a 0 on bottom, at the end, you can mark and cross them out. It makes your numbers go by easier, okay? All you're doing is just dividing both top and bottom by 10, which now I'm going to be left with 5 over 20 equals percent over 100. Well, look, I can divide both top and bottom by 5 to get me 1 over 4, okay? 1 over 4, 20 divided by 5 is 4. Yep, all right, I'm just making sure. To go from 4 to 100, well, we just learned it's times 25. The same thing to the top, times 25. And it looks like we have a 25%, and now this one is increased because I'm going from 2,000 to 2,500. I increased my money. All right, and then the very last one, Mandy bought a cell phone case for $3 off the regular price of $15. What percent decrease is this? All right, so my original 100% of the case was $15. Okay, I want to know what percent did I decrease because she got a $3 off. Okay, she got a $3 off coupon. All right, which that's my difference right here. So if you think about it, so 15 minus 3 is 12. Okay, so she paid 12, but I want to know, because that's my difference right here, is my $3. I want to know what percent is $3 off of my original price of my phone case. All right, so I'm going to have part over whole equals percent over 100. My part is 3. My total is 15. I'm locating my percent over 100. Well, look, I can divide both top and bottom by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Well, 5 to 100 is times 20. What I do on bottom, I must do the exact same thing on top. So 1 times 20 is 20, to where I have a 20% decrease in the price of my cell phone case. 20% decrease in the price of my cell phone case. If you guys have any questions, please let us know.